My name is Sebastian from socialanxietysolutions.com. In this video, I'm going to guide you through the first two steps of overcoming your social anxiety disorder. And these first two steps, these two essential steps, are 1. Overcoming subconscious resistance, and 2. Getting to a place of acceptance. Now, a lot of people report after having done this exercise feeling a big change in how they feel. They notice a shift. So please follow along. It only takes about 10 minutes. Now let's start with step 1, overcoming subconscious resistance. So what is that? Well, the name already says it. It's your subconscious mind not wanting to let go of your social anxiety. Now your subconscious, the one who is actually in charge, might not want to let go of it because it might think that it's better to keep the social anxiety. So consciously you might really want to let it go, but if your subconscious thinks it's better to keep the social anxiety, or that you're not safe without the social anxiety, nothing is going to change. All my clients that have social anxiety disorder have this subconscious resistance, and until we let go of it, we're not going to make any changes. And even if we make changes, they're often temporary, and the social anxiety comes back. You might have experienced this yourself. To give you a metaphor, basically, if you imagine the social anxiety to be in this big room, and this big room is sealed with this massive steel door, then that massive steel door is the subconscious resistance. Now, until that door is open, we cannot go in and work on the social anxiety and solve it. Okay, so your social anxiety is locked up by that subconscious resistance. Now, if we do some tapping on that subconscious resistance, we basically open the door so that we can work on it. So that's step 1, and that's what we're going to do right now. Before I get into that, I just want to mention that by tapping on that subconscious resistance, most likely you're not going to feel any different. You're not going to notice any changes. That is because we're just opening the door. We're not changing anything. Okay? Alright, let's get going. So I want you to tap both karate chops against each other. So both karate chop is right here, the fleshy part. So you get the base of your pinky finger and the beginning of your wrist. You get the fleshy part here. So you get that on both sides and tap them together like this. It's easy. Alright, and just repeat after me out loud. Now I'm going to say some things that might not sound true to you, but we're basically talking to your subconscious. So as long as you just repeat what I say out loud, everything's going to be fine. Okay, great. Alright. Alright. Say, even though I don't want to let go of my social anxiety, I have it for good reasons, and I refuse to let it go. I do want to accept and respect who I am today. Even though it might not be safe to let go of my social anxiety. Maybe my social anxiety is protecting me from some things. Maybe it's protecting me from getting hurt, rejected, or embarrassed. So I don't want to let it go. I don't want to let go of my social anxiety because maybe I don't deserve to let it go. I'm afraid to let go of my social anxiety because I'm afraid how they will react to me. So I'm not going to let it go. It's impossible to let it go. don't make me let it go. My social anxiety disorder is part of my identity. Who will I be without it? And my social anxiety gives me a great excuse for my life not working. And I'm scared to let that go. What if I'm free of my social anxiety and I'm still not happy and successful? Then I won't have an excuse anymore. So I don't want to let go of my social anxiety. But I do really want to accept and appreciate myself today. Even though I don't want to let go of my social anxiety for whatever reason, or many reasons, whether these reasons are conscious or subconscious, valid or not, I don't want to let them go. But I do want to accept who I am today. Good. Alright, just take a deep breath in. Shake out your hands. Alright. Now, this has dealt with the subconscious resistance. Okay? Like I said, this has only opened the door. And now we can go in and actually work on the social anxiety. So this was step 1. And now we're ready for step 2. Okay, we're now ready for the second essential step, working on acceptance of self. Now we do this because people with social anxiety, they're often ashamed of having it, and they're afraid that people will find out about it. And often they think that there's something wrong with them for having it. And also, if you've had a social anxiety disorder for a long time, you might have identified yourself with the social anxiety disorder. So instead of seeing yourself as a person with a challenge called social anxiety, you just see yourself as a socially anxious person. So instead of seeing the social anxiety as the problem, you think that you are the problem. Okay? And basically, this leads to even less self-acceptance. And that lack of self-acceptance actually strengthens the social anxiety. Now, it's a subtle difference, but a big problem. So what we want to do is we want to get to a place of self-acceptance. And once we're there, we're in a position to get rid of everything that is in between the pain of social anxiety disorder and the joy of emotional freedom. So we want to get rid of everything that's in between. And that's possible once we have acceptance. So that's what we're going to work on now. Now, before we get into that, let's first measure where we're at. Okay? So just say this statement out loud. I accept myself while I have social anxiety. And then rate it from 0 to 10 how true that statement is for you. And 10 means, yeah, I completely accept myself while I have social anxiety. And 0 is, who are you kidding? I don't accept myself at all. And just be honest and pause the video if you need to really measure it and then write it down.